Hey Aries, welcome to your Oracle Messages. Thank you guys so much for being here. We're going to be using a few different decks today just to get the overall message from Spirit to you. While I start shuffling here, if you want to take a look in that description box below, you'll find all the information you need about this video and my channel. Also, there's a link below for my Etsy shop. Don't forget to check that out. I make handmade gemstone jewelry. There's necklaces and bracelets on there right now, so if you're interested in those, check it out. If this reading doesn't resonate, there is a playlist just for you, Aries. Make sure you guys check it out. All of the readings on there are timeless, even if there's a date stamp, okay? All right, let's go ahead and get started here. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. If you're interested in the decks I use on this video, as always, they're listed below as well. Highest messages and guidance for Aries, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Okay. Wow. We have the water dragon. Diving deep into your emotions here, Aries. That's what I'm getting. I almost feel like I'm hearing slay. Aries, I feel like you guys have really taken the time out to dive deep into your emotions. Not just to look at it or re-feel the emotions of a situation or a connection or something that has happened. But it's like you have literally disintegrated it. You have slayed those feelings. You have acknowledged them, confronted them, allowed them to be released. Okay. The swan, the beauty within. Because you have taken the time out with that water dragon to take a look at your emotions, these situations, the heartaches, the losses, the griefs, all of those connections where you learn valuable lessons in. And you've taken a look at the emotions and really sifted through them, sat in those emotions, those thoughts, those feelings, and allowed yourself to gain wisdom from those connections and situations. You are now being confronted with the beauty of who you are, the beauty of yourself. It's almost, I get this energy of just like being reborn, or a big heavy weight being lifted off of you, an emotional burden being released. Where once it may have felt overwhelming and like you may have been drowning or a heavy cloud was over you. This is that emotional release, that release of the information or the emotional attachments to that, and allowing yourself to be purified. And it's all because of your decision to really take a look at that energy, that emotion. It's almost like you were willing to go somewhere within that you were never willing to go before, and that a lot of people aren't willing to. You may have recently had a lot of memories from childhood or past relationships or past events come up. And it's almost like instead of just pushing them back down, Aries, you guys have taken the time to acknowledge those, to look at them, to feel the feelings again. Maybe even journal it out or do different rituals to try to heal or break those attachments or cut those cords to it. But you have taken the time to really sit in those emotions. For other Aries, I feel like those emotions have come up and are overwhelming you. And you need to know that the reason they are here and that you're feeling them again, and you feel, because I feel you're trapped in those emotions, or you feel like you're having the same repetitive nightmare about a situation or connection that happened, it's because it's time to release that. Sitting in that energy, feeling that pain, feeling that sorrow, that grief, that loss, that anger, frustration, whatever it is for you. Acknowledging that it's there, and then seeing the lesson in what you learned there and how it helped you grow and how it helped you be stronger is what lifts you out of that vibration and releases you. It's like a rebirth of your own energy or your own soul into something more beautiful and wise and pure. What else for Aries, please? So, Spirit's bringing this up, what dragons mean to me. Dragons to me are very magical, mystical creatures. And it's all about accepting who you are and what you've been through. Seeing things for the higher or spiritual perspective rather than just on the physical plane and what one human being may say that situation was to another. It's all about slaying that inner demon, accepting who you are, accepting what you have been through, and it's like you're incinerating it. You're breathing fire on your own emotions, on your own thoughts, your own, I want to say PTSD. It's like because you understand, it's like a trigger, a trigger, which is why they brought up PTSD. So these emotions are being triggered for you to look at, and it's because you have the power within right now to be able to release yourself from those memories, those past issues or emotions or attachments. And the beauty of the dragon is the fact that their power, their fire that they breathe out comes from within them, within their chest. Okay? And that's where your power comes from, is your heart. It may not feel very powerful when you're going through those emotions and things. You feel weak and beat down and hurt and sad, and you have grief and frustration and anxiety. But that's where the power ends up coming from, is from all of that. It's like you're turning that fire, that emotion into something that empowers you, that makes you powerful by breathing that fire out. And it's like, as you breathe that out and you release it, it purifies you and allows you to move forward. What else for Aries? Wow. Okay, so Sagittarius actually got this card too. Alcyone, number 9, ending of a cycle. Equopius the seer, visionary. I chart the stars, signs, and symbols to craft magic. Look at that. It's like a blue fire or a blue egg or something in his chest. That's where your power lies. You have the ability to free yourself from any type of emotional grief or turmoil by allowing yourself to see it, feel it, acknowledge it, and release it. Signs and symbols, crafting magic. You guys have had many different signs and synchronicities, and I feel like that's those emotions or memories coming up in your dreams. Or you may be even just like driving down the road or just sitting there, and all of a sudden a memory comes up of something that you went through. It's being triggered, like we said before, to act on, to release, to heal, to breathe out. The shining star, Electra, number 18, glow. I no longer dim my light. I shine bright for all to see. This is what happens when you release that, when you allow yourself to be seen for who you are and not what you've been through. And also seeing yourself for who you are and not what you've been through. We all get to choose our story, Aries. We all get to decide what our story is going to be. Are we a victim or are we powerful? Are we a leader? Are we a follower? Did we gain courage and strength because we got through and overcame those issues and turmoils from the past? Or do we stay a victim because of what has been done to us in the past? Do we carry it with us? You are a shining star. It is time for you to glow. And that sits right directly underneath that swan. The release, showing following the signs, the synchronicities, what you need to release, those dreams, those triggers, confronting them and slaying them, letting them out, whatever way seems appropriate and best for yourself. It helps you shine. It helps you purify yourself. It helps you glow and shine like a diamond, like a star. What else for Aries? I just heard, I can't do it. There are events in our lives, Aries, that are extremely traumatic. Some more than others. Some of you, Aries, may have had very traumatic events in your life. Now, I'm not a psychologist or a counselor or anything like that, and I am not saying that in order to release, heal, or move forward, you have to sit in the emotions or the past trauma, okay? Most of us, that works for us. Others of us, it's about giving ourselves permission to no longer hold on to it, to no longer have that as a story of who we are and where we've been. It's giving ourselves permission to let it go. Not because it was acceptable, not because it was okay, not because it was the right thing, none of those, but because you're worth having a beautiful, successful, abundant, and fulfilling life. That's why we allow to let things go. Excuse me. That's why we speak our truth. That's why we decide energetically, mentally, and emotionally that we'll no longer allow something to control us. It's giving ourselves permission to move forward. What else for Aries? I just heard Gemini, so some of you may be dealing with a Gemini or have Gemini heavily in your chart. All right, Aries, let's see. The Hermit, retreat and recharge directly under that water dragon and the seer. This is you taking that time out to reflect, taking that time out to do the things that you need to do to either give yourself permission to move forward, to heal, to have a brighter, better future, or for those of you who do acknowledge, confront, release, and let go or cut cords, this is that energy of that. Under the swan, the shining star, is the eagle. See a higher perspective. Seeing that going through this and allowing yourself to be freed from this is not excusing what has been done to you. It isn't excusing the behavior or actions of others that have caused you pain. The higher perspective is seeing that you're no longer going to allow what others have caused you or done to you to be your story. That's not who you are. It's just a piece of what you have been through. This is you moving forward in your brightest, purest form. Seeing the perspective that by moving forward, by allowing your emotions to be released and healed, it gains you far more happiness, prosperity, and healing than by holding on to that for the rest of your life. You know, I often say to people that forgiveness is not for the person that hurt us. And it isn't to excuse the behavior or what they have done or the pain that they have caused. Forgiveness we do for ourselves. Forgiveness is something that we do to release ourselves from what that person has done. If you cannot forgive, then how can you expect to not carry that with you forward? Again, it's not about excusing other people and their actions. It's about giving us the chance to be healed, to be free from that. Because if we hold on to that anger, that hurt, that pain, that frustration that somebody else caused us in the past, then that keeps that circumstance and what that person did alive within us. It doesn't allow us to release it or heal it or move on from it. We carry it with us until we make the decision that we're no longer going to make that story ours, that we're no longer going to stay in that and no longer allow it to impact our life and the way forward. Forgiving is for us, not for anybody else. This is you releasing those emotions and becoming that swan. Allowing your light to shine and no longer allowing anything that you have been through be dim. This is the process that you're in right now, Aries. Or you're going through or about to go through. So if things seem a little heavy, just understand that this is what's going on. And you are in a time of great change, great alchemy, and transmutation and transformation. All right, it's not going to be easy, Aries, but you guys are definitely coming out something beautiful. So just hang in there. You are powerful. You can see the signs and synchronicities that the universe and spirit is sending you. Just follow that and do what's best for your heart. That's what I have for you guys today. Thank you so much for tuning in, Aries. I appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to hit that like, share, and subscribe button, and I'll see you all next time.